Hello, everyone. It's been a while, but very happy to be back. It's a big day for BTS and ARMY. I hope you're all right. Namjoon and Taeyong have started their military service and have entered the Nonsan Training Center this afternoon. Like a lot of you, I've been following the news, and we saw that all seven were reunited once again to support each other. Jin and Hobie were there. They took a day off. So did Yoongi. He was there as well. And Jungkook and Jimin were there to support RM and V. Jungkook and Jimin will be entering their training center tomorrow. And by tomorrow, all seven will be serving in the military. I know that it feels a bit strange and worrying for those of us who are not used to this, like seeing loved ones or family and friends go off to serve their country and join the military. In most countries, it is voluntary. And but in South Korea's case, it's mandatory. So there's a bit of trepidation and a bit of anxiety for the members and their families, as well as for Army, for BTS Army. So it's all right to feel sad, but hopefully we will look at the silver lining, yes, and make sure that we also take care of ourselves, make sure we're healthy, and we continue to do our best in our own personal lives so that we're ready and full of energy to welcome them back in 2025. And also during the interim, even though we won't get a lot of opportunities to see them, I am sure, and they've said it in their Weavers Live, that they've prepared so many surprises for us. So we will hear from them for sure. And then Jin is going to be with us in 6 months' time. Then Hobie will follow. And it's going to be all right. Yeah. So I hope that those of you who are listening, who've tuned in to this channel, that you're all going to feel better and reassured. By the way, I'd like to say thank you to all of you once again. I've had a look at the analytics of the channel, and there are those of you who are from India, so namaste. From Australia, which is wonderful. From Singapore, there's also a couple from Japan, Indonesia, and Brazil. Obrigado. For those in Indonesia, terima kasih. Thank you very much. So it's wonderful to have you as listeners. I'm not sure though how long you guys will be able to listen, and because I'm sure you're all very busy. And I think I have a youngish crowd, so welcome. I hope that you learn a little bit from the story of BTS, or perhaps maybe you already know their story. So maybe it'll be nice to hear it again because this is based on the book. I am just reading from their book, Beyond the Story. Yes. But before we go on, I'd like to share some photos because I think, we're feeling a bit sad today, but as true to form as expected from always our Bangtan Sonyeondan, especially Jin, he shared some wonderful photos from this afternoon's gathering. So let's see. I hope you can see this. Okay. Hope you can see this. I'll start off, of course, with his sense of humor, It's trying to cheer everybody up. And that's just how he is. Oops, wait. So this was on Weavers, and being such a wonderful person who makes sure that, it's lighthearted and his brothers are not too sad. Look at this. He teases and he says that the trainee is talking to me. Is this right? And that's probably Namjoon or Taeyang because they're trainees. And he's telling J-Hope because J-Hope is corporal, I think, and of course Jin is sergeant. And so he's saying, why is the trainee talking to me? Because they're in the military, there's a chain of command. But it's funny because Jin as BTS, being the eldest in the group, doesn't really pay particular attention to that hierarchy. But not Sergeant Kim Sok-jin. And of course, J-Hope goes, okay, I'll be back with some discipline. and Jin goes, brother, is there an older brother in the military? Is this right for a sergeant? And J-Hope, of course, goes, apologizes. The review is over. Isn't it funny? But so when I read that, I just laughed because Jin is just so funny. Okay, let's see the photos that he shared, yeah? Okay, let's see. Is this? Come on. Okay, wait. All right. This is a wonderful photo, isn't it? You've got Jin and Hobie flanking them. They're brothers. And this Yoongi, I really was looking forward to just hoping that Yoongi would be there, to see a photo of him because he's the one who's not doing active duty. And really, there was nothing that, we didn't hear anything from him. So I'm glad to see him and I hope he's doing well. And there's Jungkook. Yeah. And of course, there's Taeyang, and he's going to start a very rigorous kind of training because he enlisted for the special duty team, which has several branches, I think. So Army, Navy, Air Force, and Marine. I wonder which one is going to be assigned to. And then, of course, there's our leader, our fearless leader, Namjoon. And there's Jimin, all covered up. So I hope he'll be okay. And look how dashing Hobie looks. You know, Jin and Hobie, amazing how they're both just excelling in the military. They'll be okay. And here are the 4 new recruits. Tomorrow, Jungkook and Jimin will start their duty. So we'll also make sure that they have support. Okay. And then let's see. Why are you not? Uh, yeah, this is the photo that Jin posted, yeah? On Instagram, I think. Yes, Instagram it was. Look at them. Really, they look like special forces, huh? Elite soldiers. And look, 7. Always 7. OT7. Yes. Even Hobie, I think he put it in his IG story, you know. And it says sergeant and corporal on, on their day off. I'm so glad that they were able to have a day off and they were granted a day off to show their support for their BTS brothers. Okay, hang on. There, Jin and Namjoon and Taeyang. And I think this says, don't get hurt and come back safely. It's my babies. Just like a big brother. And even though he was teasing in that Weaver's post about, rank and all that, we know. We know he'll do anything for his younger brothers. Yes, they are his babies. He used to cook for them, take care of them, feed them. And I heard that Jin does that too in the military, in his unit. Apparently, he uses his own money and buys food whenever there's this food truck, I think, on the weekends. And he treats his unit to delicious food. Okay. Just warms our hearts, yes? He knows that Army is sad today, so he shares these photos to comfort us. Okay. So shall we proceed with the reading? We are now in chapter 3, and this is the 3rd part of chapter 3. And chapter 3 is Love, Hate, Army. And it's the period of the most beautiful moment in life. Yeah, and that series of albums. Okay. With the emergence of V Live, the generation in which idols would shroud themselves in mystery off stage, restricting their content and releasing it little by little to fans, had come to an end. At the time of BTS's debut, the idol industry was already a red ocean among red oceans. With the advent of V Live, self-produced content made by the idols and their representatives themselves, so-called teasers, became much more important. Continuously handing out teasers in this way meant that even when the idols weren't working on an album, fans could not look anywhere else. For BTS, who had been making a variety of content available through their blog and YouTube channel since before their debut, the era of self-produced content was like an ancient future. Their experience communicating recent news with fans through vlogs on YouTube made a natural transition to the V Live streaming function, and the variety of self-produced content acted as continuous teasers to the fans who followed BTS on their V Live channel. They were veterans already by this time with producing their self-produced content, yeah, compared to other idols. And they probably were so comfortable already with vlogging and just recording themselves, and they were not really, let's say, it wasn't an artificial thing. What you see is what you get. They were very good with just showing their genuine and authentic selves. I'm sure they were also hesitant to show, the times where they were having a hard time or things were not really very good and they were feeling sad and lonely and tired. But they really wanted to connect with ARMY. They wanted to show ARMY their real selves. They wanted to communicate genuinely with ARMY. Run BTS, the variety show started by BTS and Big Hit Entertainment on V Live, was the final piece of their new ecosystem of activities. For idol groups, not only did special appearances and variety programs allow fans to enjoy domains beyond music, but they were also important in highlighting each member's unique personality. Both before and after 2000, the first generation of boy groups in Korea formed the basis of their popularity through variety show specials. However, until Run BTS, the production of idol variety shows remained exclusively within the domain of the broadcasting companies. Idol groups affiliated with large management companies would also regularly make their names known through variety show specials as soon as they debuted. But broadcasting companies also had to consider their ratings, and it was standard to cast popular idols. In short, the big three companies had power over the broadcasting companies, and therefore the variety shows who would then decide to cast which idol group. And BTS was at a disadvantage, coming from a small company and didn't have much power over these broadcasting companies. Through Run BTS, Big Hit Entertainment carried idol variety programs over into the realm of self-produced content. Making their own variety program was a huge gamble for a smaller-sized company. In the end, however, it wouldn't be an exaggeration to say that Run BTS was more successful than not only Rookie King Channel Bangtan and American Hustle Life, but all idol variety shows of the time. That speaks to not only BTS, the members' charisma, and the ability to hold an audience and just make things fun and hilarious and make, watching them enjoyable. But kudos to the production team, the editing team, the script writers, and all the creative team that came up with all the ideas, the games, and what have you, like, that made Run BTS such an entertaining show. And now it's an icon, a legendary variety show. And they didn't have any guests. This was just purely BTS. Well, there was when they invited the gamers, yeah? That was incredible. That was a very good episode too. But it just shows BTS can carry a variety show. They don't need special guests. They don't need an opening act in their concerts. That's I remember the famous words of Jungkook, what opening act? They don't need an opening act. They don't need extra stuff, BTS standalone already are amazing entertainers and performers. Unlike broadcasting companies' variety show idol specials, Run BTS could continue running without there needing to be an end. And since it was created by BTS's management company, the producers also had a good grasp on the members' physical conditions. Now, after watching chart music TV programs in which BTS featured, ARMY could then watch live streams on VLive where the members discussed their reflections and could also check out related behind-the-scenes footage and photographs on YouTube and Twitter. In between all of this, they could watch variety programs like Run BTS. If you were someone who had become ARMY through The Most Beautiful Moment in Life Part 1, you could easily stay up all night watching the teasers accumulated over the past 2 years. However, the era of self-produced content did not stop at transforming how idols worked. As idols shared what went on behind the scenes and beyond the stage, as well as talking directly with fans, the definition of an idol itself began to change. While in the past it had been taken for granted that an idol would only show fans their good side, in the self-produced content era, idols began to reveal aspects of their situations as well as what was really on their minds. They spoke of being upset at the general public and the press, and even occasionally aired criticism. Now in the 2020s, idols speak much more openly about the difficulties and the problems they're experiencing, and occasionally, if they're going through a difficult time physically or psychologically, they give up the idol career entirely. And so, Korea's idols began to take on their own identities, different from the idols of Japan and America. These activities made BTS all the busier. Even while preparing for the Most Beautiful Moment in Life Part 2 album, they still had to remain active on V Live and social media. How did the members respond to this increase in work? V explains it clearly. I just followed the group's decisions. I did not see my own personal decisions as important at all. If I am against something, but everyone else is not, I'll think that the members are right. If the members go, I want to do this, or we have to do this, then I of course go along with it. Asked how that was possible, V responds, because we are BTS, I think. He goes on, I've bet my life on this group. I cannot just decide something based on my own individual opinion. That's why I do it, and all of us have the attitude, let's do it, for all those different activities. And my attitude is to go along with it. J-Hope reflects on how he felt back then. I think it was a feeling like, surely we cannot lose now. In thinking, we can do even better. We did more. Once we did something, we did even more. We did not do less. In among all this, from May 20, 2015, the BTS YouTube channel began its own mukbang with Jin. Eat Jin. This move reveals to us not only BTS's determination to give anything a try, but the impact of changing generation. Jin, who had been sharing his cooking via the BTS official blog since before the group's debut, after the Most Beautiful Moment in Life Part 2, began filming himself eating too. At the time, there was not really any way to communicate with the fans, and as I liked eating, I thought I should upload that at least, and began filming. I wanted ARMY to be able to see my face, and that's how it started. When Jin first started filming this content, he was worried about inconveniencing the other members, and so he shot the show in the smallest space he could, as quietly as possible. However, the content immediately got a good response, and Jin moved from YouTube to the BTS V Live channel and started live streaming. Jin recalls, when I was doing V Live, the scale grew bigger. In the beginning, I was by myself, and all I needed to do was put the phone in front of me, eat, and film. But for V Live, we do it together with people from the company. I hated being a burden to others, and so personally, I was concerned. But the crew said it was no big deal at all, and not to worry. It was a live stream too, and I think at first I wasn't very good. At the time, there was also this preconception that I needed to have full makeup on because it was counted as a broadcast. However, in contrast to Jin's fears, Eat Jin became BTS's leading self-produced content. What a pioneer Jin is, huh? And I'm not going to be surprised if he has something up his sleeve when he returns next year. He'll do something totally different. And he already has done that prior to enlistment, the traditional alcohol making series. He's the one who, did that. So I'm not really, I'm going to be delighted for any surprise that he has planned for us. Even now, Jin maintains the image of a skilled cook, and this has become one of his signatures. right from when he was an unknown trainee to the superstar he is today. He has presented a consistent personality by sharing videos of himself cooking and eating and fishing. As it has for BTS, the self-generated content era has made the emotional relationship between idols and their fandom closer and more enduring. BTS's relationship with ARMY, formed thanks to the internet, became their unintended path to salvation. This relationship they had built with ARMY became their biggest support through the series of events that followed. The Most Beautiful Moment in Life, Part 1. And we shall end there. I hope I didn't go overly, beyond 1800 seconds. But so I kind of put that beyond now in the name because we always go over. I want to thank you all for joining me and for being patient and for listening. Until next time, this is Beyond 1800 with BTS. Have a wonderful day and a relaxing evening. Don't be too sad. We will hear and definitely see more content from them. The guys do never forget us. They're way too thoughtful and generous and kind. And to ARMY, let's also do our best and be kind and compassionate, especially during this very, very difficult time that we live in. The world is going through so much heartache and hardships. We may not be able to do something big to help. Let's just focus on our own communities, our own families, our friends, and be kinder and more thoughtful and more patient. Okay? Till next time, take care.